Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a first carry for the former Cleveland Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Gone! Now let's go! 3-19!
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Airing one deep for Curse. And got his man complete. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jermaine Curse. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets have taken a first quarter lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Myers now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. Steps away to his left. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now Tannehill. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Second down. Here's Crowell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Crowell. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half in some of these shorter games.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Kiko Alonso. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Play action. It's Darnold. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Darnold. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. He's got Curse. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Darnold. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cameron Wake in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Now Darnold. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
No, check.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Sometimes it seems like a tough world out there. Many thought Sam Darnold would go number 1 overall to the Browns, and he fell to number 3 to the New York Jets. I think he fell to a great situation. He gets to go to New York with a rebuilding team, take over the job right then and there. And while many were expecting Broadway Baker Mayfield, instead they got sudden Sam Darnold. And I think the Jets fans are going to be very happy to have him.
2nd and goal, 1 man in the backfield. That's Crowell. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here's Myers now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Run.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now it's Tannehill. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. Tannehill now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Tannehill. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Tannehill escaping the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Jets. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Stephon Anthony. Coming on the blitz.
No,
He gets him for a loss of 7. On second down, Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold forced out to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So now here come the Dolphins. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he finds Stills, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout.
20.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. Then he finds Danny Amendola. Danny Amendola, he's going to go. A big play there for the Dolphins. 44 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Now Tannehill, he goes underneath the Drake. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Tannehill. That's complete right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
Deep. Deep.
They snap it to Tannehill. And it's caught. A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Crowell, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Now a handoff to Crowell. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Crowell with a chance to make a big impact in this Jets backfield. Here's 1st down.
Here we go now. Green.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Some space here. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Tannehill now, 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Drake off the give from Tannehill. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Deep.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again. 1st and goal. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal.
Go! Hey, 20. Go!
Again, Tannehill. And he slides to avoid the hit.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Here's the Jets offense now, getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Crowell. And an alley to run. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They keep it with Crowell on 1st. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Crowell, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. From the 50, it's Darnold. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
After the penalty, it's Crowell. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. William Hayes in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Toss play, Powell, and he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him. He gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
They kept him to a short run play there. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
So bad.
I don't know about that. Super tall.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And there's a nice catch by Mike Gesicki, the rookie out of Penn State. And, partner, you saw him when you were covering Big Ten football. He didn't block very many people, but that's not what they asked him to do. They asked him to go downfield and catch the balls we just saw there.
Yeah, absolutely right, and he can do it with the best of them.
Yeah, and how about him, his high school video? Did you ever see any of that with him dunking basketballs and spiking volleyballs? His athletic ability is off the charts.
Tannehill now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Tannehill throwing again. It's caught outright, Amendola. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
To throw is Tannehill. And it's caught here, Amendola. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. Tannehill on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far.
Hey, 20.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. This will be caught at about the 6. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he won't have have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A carry here for the big tight end. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Hakeem Hunt, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Newton's got it, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold, he's got Curse. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now it's Crowell, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Again, it's Crowell. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll try to run for it with Crowell. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Watch it now, Barney.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Darnold. Buying time to his left. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. On the run, it's Crowell. And a solid run down inside the 30. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Darnold. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And Myers able to knock it through, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity?
He's got a man, complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins can take the lead with the extra point.
I don't think there's any great secret or mystery here. We're in the 4th quarter. You've got to take that shot, especially since you're down on the scoreboard. But I have to understand what was going on defensively. They've got to know that as well, don't they?
Absolutely, but they looked lost defensively, and they took that shot, got in the end zone, now in position here to take the lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And New York set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock, so tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the fourth down in New Orleans. And the Saints have scored again, enjoying a comfortable cushion. If they hold on, a victory there would be their third of the year.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
I think we saw the strategy there, how they moved it to the left hash so they could line things up for them to kick the field goal.
Leopard! Leopard!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll run with Crowell. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Crowell's going to try and run for it. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on, and that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Jets, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.